5.
Okay, so this is what we call, sometimes I'll do another thing. I'll actually draw a little rectangle like this. And since we have dirt to work with, I like that. I'm not quite as tall as Bob, so I might bring these back just a tiny bit. But this is what I call the impact zone, contact area. This is where we need to be hitting softballs and slow pitch softballs. And there were several guys in my group today that I talked about. When we do the impact zone, make sure you clean your earwax out. Who did I tell it? Oh, you were listening. All right, I'm going to do one other additional thing. I'll touch on the directional hitting too, Bob. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to draw a line here, and a line coming out here. So pretend these lines go all the way through the plate. So I've separated the plate into thirds. Everybody see that? Here, here, and here, with these two lines. We're going to talk about the impact zone first, then we're going to get into the second part, okay? So what this starts with the impact zone, literally is timing. And we described it to the group this morning that the first thing that you're doing when you're on in the box, the pitcher's letting go of the ball, we've got until the ball reaches its apex, its highest point, right? And our first thing we have to decide is it a strike or a ball, right? My guys, that were blessed to be with me first are a little over your group because you were with Bob. But what I like to describe it, or what I do with my guys, the number one object, the difference between getting a good hitter and a great hitter is hitting a strike. Something in your technique is going to have to suffer if you don't hit a strike, okay? You're going to have to make some adjustment, and it's usually an adverse reaction. Now, we all know we get a strike, and maybe we swing at this pitch, or there. Not too big of an adjustment there. It's close enough. We obviously need to swing. We don't want to strike out slow pitch softball. So yeah, but we can make adjustment to that and not have it to be that bad of an adjustment. But when we're starting to hit balls out in here, or the balls that are clearly balls and not strikes, we cannot have great technique doing that. We can't get to the balls the way we should. So first thing is we got to identify the strike, and then the second thing is where is it going to land on the plate, and that's going to help me dictate where can I optimally hit the ball for the most results. If you guys give me a situation in softball and describe something, I can give you a mathematical equation for anything that you tell me to ask about in a game of softball. I can tell you the percentage of positive or negative in that situation. If you learn to hit strikes, if you're a potential 700 hitter and you hit strikes 90% of the time, you're going to hit 670, 680, okay? If you're hitting balls, 30% of the time, you're going to go down to the low sixes. It's that simple. So, all right, how does it translate here? So, what we're doing now, remember, you guys are all professional hitters, and the only thing that you swing at for the rest of your life is what? Great, somebody's listening, I love it. Okay, so what this is signifying is, this is an inside pitch, okay? This is a middle of the plate pitch, and this is an outside pitch, strikes. Remember we made the lines going through the plate, so this pitch is gonna hit somewhere, in this inner third. This one's gonna hit in the middle third. This one's gonna hit in the outer third, okay? So, a lot of times, in some of the one-on-one things, I've tried to break it down like to be so simple. So, if I was to take a bat speed tester, ball velocity tester, and we did in-depth studies on all of you, we could get down to an average bat speed, okay? If whatever it is, yours might be 74, somebody's might be 83, somebody might be 90, whatever it is, we take 100 swings and your average is, let's just say it's 80, okay? If your average bat speed's 80, can you flip a switch and go to 88? Probably not. And if you do, a lot of times, it's not controlled. Remember, here's a saying for you guys. Softball, hitting a slow pitch softball is controlled aggression. We have to be controlled, but we have to be aggressive. We're not hitting a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that we can just meet back in here, because if I can do that 2.75 or 3 times out of 10, I'm making about $20 million a year, right? We've got, what was it, Bob, 11 miles an hour, I think you did your calculations at, something like that?
I don't know the velocity, how many miles per hour.
Somewhere 9 or 11 miles an hour, we're dealing with the softball. We have to develop our own power, right? So we were trying to work with in the very beginning, developing power. We learned how it comes from the ground. Okay, so here it is. Hitting balls in the impact zone starts with timing. When am I pulling the trigger? Remember, we have to decide, is it a strike? Yes. Okay, inside pitch. Let's deal with the inside pitch first, okay? In order for me to hit the inside pitch properly, what do I have to do different than this pitch or this pitch? It's that simple, guys. You literally have to start your swing a little bit earlier because remember, we don't have 88, we got 80. So what I see a lot of guys doing is getting out of control a lot of times on inside pitches because they think that they have to aggressively attack it, which they do, but they wait with the timing to hit this pitch. And then that's when a lot of times you'll see people overstriding, or you'll see the heads flying open and the bodies flying open, all that stuff. That's uncontrolled aggression. We want to have controlled aggression. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay, here I'm in the box, okay? My inside strike comes, and we know that with our arms, here's the golfer thing again. We got that nice V in the arm, backswing, like so. That's how we generate that nice leverage power. One of the similarities in softball, that V is important to us too. Bob identified a lot of arm bar issues with you guys on this field. That V got too soon, didn't it? Some of you guys. Some guys never get to that. And they get to what I call the dreaded chicken wing. The best time of the year is right now. We got 10 days till football season. That is when you want to introduce chicken wings into your life in softball. Not when you're hitting. Okay, don't eat them year round, you get fat, but you can eat them during the NFL. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, here I am. I'm going to aggressively start, like you guys said, I got to start a little bit earlier to get to this pitch. Okay, in order to get extension and get to that V, I've got to hit the inside pitch farther in front of me than I do the other ones. What does it look like? Here I am here. Okay, now look. Let's do our systems check. Did I rotate? Am I facing the pitcher?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, look at my barrel angle. Where's that ball going? Somewhere over there, right? Okay, I'm gonna jump forward and come right back real quick, I promise. If I've done everything right, I'm on this third of the plate. This inside pitch, this is 33%, 33 of the plate, right? For optimum results, consistency, this pitch needs to be hit on this third of the field. Okay? Simple as that. That gets into directional hitting. That's what we're going to go to. This pitch is in the middle of the plate. Where does it get hit? The middle 33% of the field, right? Does it have to go straight up the middle? No, you've got a third of the field that you're going to get optimum results hitting that pitch with. Outside pitch, we got this third of the field. Obviously the lefties, it flips around, okay? That's going to give you your most consistent results. Can you pull this pitch? Yeah. And depending on your height, depending on where you hit it, you know, if you get it good, can you get hits doing that? Yes. But remember, we're trying to get you to the highest point of your ceiling. You're going to get that extra 1 or 2 hits a weekend by not pulling that pitch. If you can keep that pitch somewhere in here, you're going to be more successful. Bob likes to say too, what's the easiest place on the field to get a hit? The middle of the field, right? And it is, it's true. It's true. So let's check it out. Now, if I don't get to extension here, if I identify the strike, it's an inside pitch, but I hit this pitch back where the middle of the plate is, let's see what the ramifications are.
Go ahead and move it back there.
I'm sorry?
Move the ball back there.
Oh, okay, we can do that.
There you go.
I'm going to try to hit that pitch now. Look at, time for Sunday chicken wings, boys. Here's the chicken wing. You guys see that? I know you're blocked a little bit here. This arm cannot get extended because you've let that ball travel too far back into the zone. Sometimes I'll call that hitting it out of the catcher's mitt. You let it get too deep on you. You guys heard that this morning when I talked to you guys, right? Okay? So this is the impact zone. Now, let's check and see if we know what we're talking about. Let's get back here. Let's check out this. Am I extended? Am I rotated?
Yep.
Where's my barrel angle going?
Straight ahead.
Somewhere in the middle of the field, right guys? This pitch here, first righty, lefty's obviously opposite way, that requires what? It requires the most patience. We've literally got to sit back, and I'll tell myself, my catchphrase to get information from back ahead to front of brain, what little bit left, is trust your hands. Because I've got to wait on that pitch a little bit more in order to drive it to that field. So how does that look? So here I am here. Ball's coming in. Still rotated. Where's ball going? It's going somewhere on that third of the field, right? So this is a huge, huge difference what a lot of people do in slow pitch softball. I see more people than not. Now you guys, again, we didn't make it up, a little bit advanced, you know, as far as your ability level, but I still saw a lot of balls being hit, you know, this pitch getting hit back in here. And you get a lot, you know, then you get that, you feel that little tied up feeling. You guys know it. We hardly ever have to tell somebody, when you hit one pure, when you hit one good, you know it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hardly you don't even hit it, feel it hit the bat. You might have done it by mistake because you just did everything right at one time. But we want to replicate that over and over. And that is, this is the way of becoming a great ball striker, okay, is hitting balls out in the impact zone, and then we get to the little statement of hitting it where it's pitched, right? And now we know what that phrase is. I think when I was walking off the field, we were walking over here, I asked some of the guys, how many times have you heard that, hitting it where it's pitched? And most of the time when people are saying that, do they really know what they're saying, or they really know how you do that? My experience is maybe 50-50. Maybe 50% of the guys really know what that means and really know how to execute it. Well, this is how you execute it. Starts with identifying strike, next identifying pitch, and the next is where am I hitting it, okay? So this is hitting it where it's pitched. So you try to hit this ball and pull it, you're going to end up swinging around the ball like this, even if you get your barrel to this part, okay? And it's going to be a ground ball probably to the shortstop about 7 times out of 10. This is the one we can get away with the most, the meatball. We can get away with some bad stuff with that pitch. I'm not telling you to, but we can, okay? Just because that meatball is named meatball for a reason. We can do a lot more wrong with that pitch and get away with it. But what we're trying to do is not get away with it, right? We're looking for perfection. We're looking for execution. We're looking for consistency. So, and again, just with everything Bob and I have talked about today, it all starts with knowledge. And a lot of times, how many people, let's be honest, how many people have ever heard anything about impact zone or hitting balls like this where it's pitched? Anybody ever heard of it before? You have.
No, I have not.
Okay, so we're talking, what, 4 people out of 20 have heard this? No, it's not many, is it?
Anybody have a question about the impact zone?
Guys,
Anybody?
do you guys understand what we're talking about?
Yeah, I do, but I mean, the idea of pulling your hands in, that was something that you heard in baseball. Pulled his hands in to get around on the pitch or something like
Well,
that.
we
It
do-
sounds like you don't want to do that though. You want better pitch
Well, no,
recognition.
you want extension, but again, like Bob said, Bob talked about the arm bar. For you guys that were on my field, we didn't see that a lot, so you didn't hear me tell you that. What Bob was talking about is guys that are getting extended all the way back in here. Okay, that's premature extension. How about that? Don't post this video.
I like it.
Premature extension, okay? But when you do that, you start swinging around balls like this, but you also, I'm not going to get into the whole dynamics, but it slows your bat down dramatically. Okay, when you're out to extension like that too soon, it slows your bat speed down. A lot of times you'll end up hitting balls on the handle, okay? And you're hitting it with deceleration instead of acceleration. In the back of your head, guys, think about this. The fastest part and most aggressive part of your bat speed should be right before impact and through the ball. We want to swing through the ball with aggression. This is one of the sayings we talked about sometimes we can't use with the younger guys. I'll tell them, you know what, and look at, I'm right in town. You guys remember the New York City Yellow Pages in 1984? How big was it?
It's huge.
Giant, right? Huge. They don't even know what a Yellow Pages is, number one. You guys know how big it was because you live here, okay? When I'm coaching, when I'm thinking, I want you to swing through the Yellow Pages. Not to them, through them. So that's another reason if we take our hand off the bat at impact, we're not swinging through the Yellow Pages. We want the hand through the ball all the way through, and then we drop here. But this impact zone, I'm gonna forewarn you, you have to be careful of when you first start trying to execute this. I see a lot of guys start doing this because they're intent on getting that ball out in front now, but they're doing our lateral movement. And it kind of can bring on lunging a little bit. So I'm kind of forewarning you. You know, don't feel bad if you do it, because a lot of people do. What we want to do is just simply work on our timing, where we start that swing a little early so that we can get rotation and get to ball like so. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that?